Hey sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, you guys are going to want to get a little cup of coffee, a cup of tea, some water, whatever you like, and get comfy because we are going to sit down and chat about 2022 reflection, 2023 goals, as well as just spilling the tea on a life update because y'all, we have so much going on right now. I'm going back to teaching. We don't live in our house anymore. We just have so much going on right now. So I'm going to spill the tea about everything, give it all to you guys, and yeah, we're just going to sit down and chat. So if you are new here, before we get started, my name is Michaela Barnhart. I am currently going into my second year of teaching, and that is crazy to say, which I'll talk about in just a second. So I'll be a second year fourth grade teacher this year. So super excited about that. But if you are not new here, then welcome back. As always, thank you so much for returning. But let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so before we get started on anything else, I just kind of want to take a second and reflect on 2022 because I feel like 2022 was such a big year for me. I was not into doing like a word of the year at all. I did pick a word for 2023, which I will share later. But in 2022, I did not know that was a big thing to do until like later into the year before I realized like that was something people did and that it really like I kind of liked the thought of doing that. So I didn't have one in 2022, but if I could pick one, I would say like change or something to that effect because 2022 was such a big year for not just me, but my little family, me and Jeremiah and now Gatlin. If you are new here and you have not heard, I had a son in August. He was born August 10th. His name is Gatlin James. You've seen him a lot if you have been here. If you're ever on my Instagram, you see him all the time. Sorry, not really sorry. I love sharing him. But anyways, he was born in August, so the second half of our year was just such a big transformation for us, being that we went from just the two of us with our dogs to having an actual human baby to take care of, which is so crazy to me to even think that we do that. But such a big transformative end of the year. If you don't know, I did get diagnosed shortly after having him with postpartum depression. I also had a lot of blood pressure issues right after having him. That was why they induced me with him, which is just a totally another story. But all of that being said, that just led into such a big transformation in myself. And I am so happy with where I am mentally now going into 2023, which I'll talk about again in a minute when we talk about 2023 and my goals and just kind of where we're at right now. But either way, such a big year for change. Before that though, we did decide to sell our house. We ended up not selling it until December, but we started the process earlier in the year. I finished out my first year of teaching in 2022, so that was exciting. Very hard, very trying time, but very rewarding and very worth it. So lots of change happened in 2022. It was a really good year for us financially and everything. We kind of were able to start getting a baseline on what we wanted in life and kind of like starting to set ourselves up for getting those more permanent things like our forever home. We have goals of getting like a boat and a camper, a golf cart, things like that. And so we're starting to try to set ourselves up for those things. And so that's really exciting for us. And 2022 was kind of the base year for that. So all of that to kind of wrap up 2022. And now let's talk about 2023. All right, so if you've not already, before we talk about 2023, I've written down all my goals and stuff in here, but if you have not ever had an Erin Condren, just one of the little like 7x9 notebooks or just any size notebook from them, highly recommend. I get a new one every year usually. I have not got one for 2023 yet just because I do have quite a bit left in this one. I don't have that much. I mean, I've used all of this, so I've used over half of it, but I just don't feel like I need to waste it, you know? So probably will buy a new one when new planners come out in like June or May, whenever that is. May, June, July, somewhere around in there. Anyway, I will probably get a new one then. But if you've not checked them out, definitely check them out. I have the link for Erin Condren always in my description box. So check it out on there. Just a little side note. But either way, let's go ahead and get into our 2023 goals. So I kind of took how I broke my goals down from Elementary with Emma. I think she's actually changing her name to Emma Grace, which I love. If you guys have not checked her out yet, y'all have got to go check her out. I feel like she and I could be like the same person in ways because we've dealt with so many of the same things. Someone's riding their motorcycle loudly down the road. But I feel like I can relate and connect with her in so many levels. So love watching her. If you haven't checked her out, go check her out. But either way, she broke hers into 3 like topics, I think. So we have one for financials, one for just personal goals, and then I also made a little category for like social media, so YouTube and Instagram, which is kind of my little like side hustle, if you will. Don't really make that much money off of it. I just enjoy doing it. But I just want to kind of set some goals for every aspect of my life. So let's start with financials, because I kind of kept it minimal here, being that we started to set our base of things in 2022. I just want to kind of continue to grow off of that. I made one goal to make sure that we save money every month. We do have several sinking funds set up, which I can do a video on if you're interested. I haven't been showing that much of our business, of our budget. I did not mean to say business. Of our budget, and that's not because I don't want to. It doesn't bother us to share our money and stuff with you guys and just show you what it looks like. I just have not had the time to sit down and do that. It's been very quick and just kind of setting things up and going with it. So either way though, one of our goals is to save money some way every month, whether that be filling our sinking funds, just saving like extra money from paychecks, whatever. We want to save money every month. A personal financial goal for myself is that I really want to start being very intentional with my spending. This started to become a problem when Gatlin was born, and I was going through that whole time of becoming a new mom, fighting depression, postpartum depression, just kind of that like weird time when they send you home with a human to take care of, and you're really just figuring out yourself and who you are and who your baby is and all that kind of stuff. I went through this time where I really struggled I just spent money constantly. I would get like this moment of joy when I would hit checkout, like when I would put stuff in my cart and check out. Obviously the joy did not last very long, but it would bring me like just a little sliver moment of like happiness. And it started to become a problem. I was spending a lot of money, not on really like random things. It was always on clothes for Gatlin. Being that he was born in August, we were getting ready to go into the holidays. So the child had 31 outfits for Halloween, several outfits for Thanksgiving. He ended up having, I think, 28 outfits for Christmas, which now that I say that out loud, like, I just wish I could go back and smack myself for all of the money that I spent, because that was ridiculous. So going forward into 2023, I want to be very intentional in our spending and what we spend, not just clothes, but outside of that, not stopping at the gas station just because I feel like I really want a Pepsi, or Jeremiah really wants a Monster or something like that. Not stopping to get like food when I know that I can come home and, heat something up and eat something here or whatever. So I just want to be very intentional in my spending, not saying that I don't want to ever like buy things for myself again or buy things for Gatlin or Jeremiah or whatever. Just be very intentional. I do still intend on buying him like 1 or 2 little Valentine's Day shirts. Same thing for like St. Patrick's Day, whatever comes after that. Easter, is that the next one? I don't remember, but either way, I will probably buy him a few cute outfits for the holidays that like happen, but nowhere near as much as I bought for all the others. So that is my 2 little financial goals. So now let's move into personal. All right, so for personal, I had several goals for this year. I am not a huge person in making like resolutions. Like, I'm not gonna say work out every day or eat healthy. Like, I know that I'm not gonna always do that. Like, I crave eating like a handful of M&Ms sometimes, or I crave having a Pepsi or Dr. Pepper or some kind of soda for drink. I drink coffee every day, which I know is terrible for you probably. So I'm not gonna put myself in that situation where I'm setting myself up for failure, because your girl needs coffee to make it through the day and I'm gonna drink it. So keep that in mind when I list these out, because I tried to be pretty like broad, but also specific, if that makes sense. Either way though, number 1 is to practice being more patient. I feel like since I had Gatlin, I have become very like, I don't want to say like picky over things, but very like specific in the way that I think things should be done. And I tend to like, my patience runs out really quickly with Jeremiah now. If he like makes one little mistake, I tend to like just fly high all of a sudden, and I really want to try to get that back under control. I feel like I've started to try to be a little more like aware that it's happening, because I know I shouldn't be that way, and I've not always been that way. It's just been since we had Gatlin. So I kind of want to rein that back in, and also just practice more patience where Gatlin is concerned. I don't tend to like get angry with him or anything like that. Obviously, he's only 5 months old, so you know, what is he really doing that's wrong? Nothing, at least not in my eyes. But I do tend to like try to rush things, I guess. So like with him right now, we've been working really hard on trying to get him to roll over. He is so close to being able to roll from his back to his belly that it's unreal. Like he will almost get there and then he'll roll back over to his back. But I tend to like, my patience runs thin with that when we've been practicing and practicing and practicing and he's still not getting it. So I just need to learn to slow my roll and take things as they come, because one day I'm going to look back, I know, and I will terribly miss like these moments that I have with him. So I just want to practice a little more patience. The next one is to spend more intentional time with God. So I've been doing a lot of Bible studies. If you're not familiar, I use the Daily Grace Company. I use a lot of their Bible studies. One that I would highly recommend anyone do if you're interested is their study on Esther. I love Esther. I also have their study on Ruth, but I haven't done that one yet. Right now I'm doing a little like prayer guide on motherhood, along with these goals of just trying to be more patient and intentional with my time. I felt like that was really good for me right now. The sun is also going down, which you guys probably can tell. About to run out of light. This is my life right now. I have to just do things when I get the time. But either way, I want to be very intentional with spending time daily with God, whether that be like sitting down and doing an actual Bible study every day, making time to like meditate with prayer with him, spending just time in the car talking to him. I just want to make sure that I'm using the times when I typically would pick up my phone and scroll through social media or get on TikTok or listen to music in the car, whatever. I want to be intentional on using time that I would not typically spend with God, like turning that time over to him. So that is number 2. Number 3 for me is to start valuing myself a little bit more. And I say that in regards to like my health, mentally, physically, spiritually, all that stuff. Obviously spending more time with God would build my spiritual health. Right now I'm working heavily on my mental health, which you guys are aware of. I just kind of touched on that a little bit. So I just really want to value myself more and start putting time into myself, whether that be like self-care, like skincare routine. I've tried to really start up. I've started getting massages regularly. So just stuff like that I'm being very intentional in taking care of myself and making sure that like I'm putting myself in the forefront and not always just putting myself behind everybody else's needs. I just think that's something I should do. So, and then my last goal is to get out of my comfort zone. I am very much someone who stays in my own comfort zone. I like to be, you know, in my little bubble of human space. Like I like to be here at home or like just with like the few friends that I'm very comfortable with, or with my family or whatever. But I would like to do things that get me out of my comfort zone. I don't know what those things are yet, but I would like to figure that out and just try to at least do one big thing that just gets me way out of my comfort zone for this year. Okay, so I added a little side light on the desk, but also that's the camera up, I think. The last little like group of goals that I made for myself are for social media, for YouTube and Instagram, and I just have 2, one for each. So my first goal is for YouTube. I would love to hit 3,000 subscribers. I'm at like 2,700 right now. So I'm not super far away in like the grand scheme of things, but my channel has had slower growth this past year. So I don't want to set that goal like too high where I just know that it's unobtainable. I feel like 3,000 would be a good goal to hit. If we hit that before the mid-year mark, then I'll probably up that goal going forward. But for right now, I'm going to say 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. And then on Instagram, I only have like 300 followers, which I know like it doesn't bother me. I don't post that much on there, which is probably why I don't like throw out there on YouTube a lot that I have an Instagram. I always have it linked in the description box though, but I would like to get to 400 subscribers on there. That's kind of my next little like level I would like to be at. So those are my 2 social media goals. So now that we've wrapped up all of the goals, I want to spend a second and just spill the tea with you guys, let you guys know what's going on in our lives. All right, so I hope this video is not super long because I feel like it definitely could be with all the different little parts, and maybe I should have done 2 separate videos, but really quickly to wrap things up, let's talk about what's going on right now. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is going back to teaching, because that one's the one thing I've gotten a lot of questions on, and like a lot of like, wow, are you really? Like, talk about it. Why are you going back? Yada, yada, yada. So I am going back. I got a job working in 4th grade. I actually start this coming Wednesday. You guys will be seeing this. Let's see, today's the 7th. So you'll see it January 8th, is my plan at least. So you'll see it tomorrow on Sunday. I start next Wednesday, like the 11th, I think it is, teaching 4th grade. But it's kind of a weird situation. So the school that I'm teaching at is literally like 5 minutes from my house right now, or from my mom's house where we're living, which is wonderful. But they had 4 4th grade teachers. So they had all four had normal like size classes. Well, they actually had small classes, but they all 4 taught like all the subjects, yada, yada, yada. One of those teachers had to resign, not because of the job. She had to resign, I think because of something going on in her family. I'm not really sure, but she's moving back to where she came from. I actually graduated with her from Winthrop. So she's moving back to where she came from. And so they took her kids that were in her class or whatever and split them up, wow, words are hard, among the other 3 teachers, which put the other 3 teachers at about 20 kids each. So still like pretty decent sized classes, like not super, super big. They had fairly small classes beforehand, but since they've already moved them and like sent letters home and did all of that kind of jazz, they did not want to move them back into their room with another teacher. So I will be going in, having my own classroom, but my job will basically be to co-teach with the other 3 teachers, as well as pull small groups for math and reading like into my classroom to work with just those kids specifically. So I think it'll be pretty exciting. It'll be a new kind of adventure for me because, like I said, it's not going to be just having my own classroom all day. Or my own class of kids all day. So I think it'll be pretty fun. I think it'll be a good way for me to slowly kind of get my foot back in the door. I'm also incredibly nervous because it's 4th grade. I just spit everywhere. It's 4th grade and I've only taught obviously 2nd grade. I did my internship in 3rd grade. I've literally never done an internship or anything in 4th grade, so I have no clue what to expect. But we'll see. I know it'll work out. It always does. So I'm not super worried, but that is the tea. I am going back to teaching. I did make myself a little Amazon wish list. If anyone is interested, I'll have it linked down below. I just threw some things. There were things from last year on it, some books and stuff I wanted. I'm not necessarily worried about those. I added some like little supplies, like baggies and batteries and things like that I know I ran out of last year. To it. So if you are willing and able, I would love to have you donate if you can. If not, then of course, just good thoughts, prayers, good vibes come my way so that we can navigate this transition back into like having, I don't want to say a real full-time job, but a full-time job that does not allow me to spend quite as much time with my baby boy. So yeah, but anyways, the second big news that I'm going to share, and this will be the last thing, so we'll wrap it up, is that we are living at my mom's house. As you can tell behind me, I'm not in my normal filming space. So we closed on our house December 29th. So it's officially sold, done, gone. Very sad actually, but it is sold. Our first home is gone. And we are currently looking at buying another home that was built in 1909 that will have to be completely renovated, like super renovated this time. So I'm very, very excited about that. We've already met with contractors. We're waiting on quotes to come in. We should be getting our quote from our like main contractor this week, and then he will have subcontractors under him for all the different like things that have to be done. But we are super excited about that. I cannot wait to see like if we end up getting the space and what we can do with it. So right now we're living at my mom's, like I said. Hopefully by the end of January we will be able to close on the new house if we decide to go with it, as long as like the bids and stuff do not come back super crazy for like the contractor and stuff. But anyways, that is the plan right now. That's kind of where we are at. Going forward on YouTube, you can expect to get a few videos from me a week. I'm going to shoot for at least 2. That's kind of my goal. I would like to do 3 every week, but I'm going to shoot for at least 2. One will be my weekly plan with me, and I'm hoping to have a vlog up every week of teaching some sort of thing, maybe teaching, maybe life. We'll just kind of figure it out as we go. But either way, that is all the tea. That is my reflection and new goals for 2023. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right. Bye, guys.